third trumpet is sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning, as it were, a lamp, and it fell upon a third part of the waters, and upon the fountains of the waters, and the name of the star is called wormwood. It's poison. I mention this for one reason. When NASA talks about Earth-grazing asteroids, it has no thought of God whatsoever. NASA is, let's say, a godless organization. And, they're scientists. They don't understand, as we do, that God determined. He's got the exact path of this mountain burning with fire and of this star called wormwood. He's got it all charted out right down to the millisecond where it's going to hit and so forth. And we operate in this realm of faith. NASA, I get the impression, JR, they're scared to death. They're starting to shiver a little bit when they think about what could happen.
Mm-hmm. In fact, NASA's main influence or main theme and drive and impetus may not be Mars or the moon, but in the years ahead, saving Earth from asteroids.
Absolutely.
It's just getting worse.
It is.
Now, when we come to the Psalms, trying to figure out when the tribulation period might begin, remember that the 70th week of Daniel is thought to be a sabbatical cycle. So, could the tribulation period be from the year 2016 to 2021? What are your thoughts?
2016 to 21, JR, I think I would put it either earlier than or later than that. But it's a possibility.
Well, then there would be 2022 through 2029.
Yes.
Could that be the years of the tribulation period?
It could be. And of course, JR is talking about these 7-year little cycles. Bits of time, these 7-year cycles, and those are called Shavuos in Scripture. And when God operates relative to the house of David, he operates within those Shavuos. So maybe. I have a tendency to think the tribulation may not be as close as we've always thought in the last decade or two, but that it may be farther back, but that the rapture of the church may be well ahead of the tribulation period.
Aha. So the rapture's still imminent?
Yes.
How imminent? I guess you can't get any more imminent than imminent.
You can't get more imminent than imminent. But and I still do believe in the any moment coming of the Lord. And it has to happen well in advance of the tribulation, because the church has to be removed in order for all the events that are scheduled prior to the tribulation to happen before the tribulation actually cuts loose.
Now, there are some people who think that we're going to not only be around for the beginning of the tribulation period, but we're going to have to go through the tribulation period.
Right.
There are a number of people. In fact, it seems to be a growing idea among Christians who, even some pastors who used to teach a pre-tribulation rapture. Indeed,
that idea is growing, as it always does when there is doubt, when patience wears out. That's what's called the patience of the saints. We look for that any moment coming, and it requires a certain mental attitude. You have to stay in the Word. You have to encourage one another. You have to comfort one another, as Paul said, with these words. Otherwise, you'll say to yourself, well, he's not coming. I'm going to push the whole event back, and I'm not even going to worry about it anymore. And that's the wrong thing to do.
Gary, it destroys imminency.
It does.
If we are to go through any part of the tribulation period, then the rapture is not imminent. And if it is not imminent, then the good man of the house is not watching.
True.
And the thief can break in and steal. Jesus said, the good man of the house is watching. And he says, watch ye therefore, for you know not what hour the Lord doth come. Mm-hmm. So it's an imminent teaching in the Scriptures. And if we are to go through the tribulation period, why does the Scriptures teach imminency?
Indeed. Without that concept of imminency, JR, I would go as far as to say that faith can't rise to its full scope, because faith requires belief without any hope of instant gratification. You have to remain faithful without the slightest clue as to when he might actually step forth out of the heavens.
Well, I'm convinced that Jesus is coming soon. We just don't know when. But I'll tell you what, keep looking up, because I believe one of these days, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, we're going to be taken out.
Yes.
Well, I want to tell you again about our videos, our television program from last year, 2009. And there are 12 discs in this package, 48 programs, and they are available for a gift of $100 to the Ministry of Prophecy in the News, and your gift will help us to pay for our time in the coming year. And it is available not only for $100, but remember, you need to pay for postage and handling, okay? And that way we'll be able to put as much as possible into the budget to take care of television stations. We'd like to go on some new stations this year if possible. So remember that and keep up your support of our ministry. And I want to tell you again about our, oh, by the way, CDs are available for $50 plus shipping and handling. Audios for your car. Now, January 2010 issue of Prophecy in the News magazine is available. Call and get it for $2.95. And remember, this month begins our Eschatology 101 series. For the next 42 months, next 42 issues, we're going to be dealing with a college course on the study of eschatology. And it will give you all the basics that I've learned over my lifetime. And so it's my life's work putting it together into a college course. I taught this course at Meridian University to a group of college students, and I want to teach it to you. So get our magazine over the next 3.5 years. I hope you will. Call and order today. And remember, when you call, ask about the bonuses. For a 1-year subscription, you can get 4 books or 3 free videos. For a 2-year subscription, you get a Tim LaHaye Prophecy Study Bible, the hardback edition. So remember those as you call and order today. Hope we can hear from you this week, because we need to hear from you. We need your continued support, not just once in a blue moon, not just once in a year, but every month we need to hear from you. Gary, any last word?
JR, my last words would be, we don't know numbers, nor do we set dates, but we study. We study to show ourselves approved. And JR, you must concern yourself with the coming of the Lord. I think that's really a mandate. All the apostles write about it. The Gospels are full of it. He's coming again. You've got to stay excited.
Absolutely. Stay excited about the second coming, because it's nearer than ever before, and that's not a cliche. I mean, he's really near. He said, when you look up and see all these things happening, coming to pass, your redemption draws nigh. And I believe we are there. Jesus will come one of these days to rapture us out. I'm thinking he'll come at the onset of some big war. And you know, this year, 2010, Middle East analysts have suggested that this could be the year for the big war.
Ooh, it's a trigger.
We'll talk about that again tomorrow, so be sure and stay tuned. I'm J.R. Church with Gary Stearman. We'll see you again tomorrow with our analysis of the news.